first met her, I just saw the dignity, I didn't know about the warmth.
In this programme, we pay tribute to Jacqueline in the company of many of her friends and colleagues who worked with her on the early days of Doctor Who, and with unique footage of her only appearance at a Doctor Who convention.
Part of the problem when you work with the director for the first time is the initial getting to know of the person. I mean, you know, with my husband, we know each other, so therefore I know exactly what he's talking about when he's trying to get me to do something. With other people, it takes a little while before you're on their wavelength, really. So it's always marvellous working, I find, with my husband. I don't think I'd done anything that she thought I was suitable for Barbara Wright for. It was just that she had a very definite idea of the type of characters she wanted, and she felt that as a person, I was probably the right person to play this part. I knew her very well, and I knew her socially. We'd known each other a long time. But it wasn't just her casting. Waris Hussein, who did the very first one, was also probably had more say in the casting than Red at that time. Yeah. And I didn't know him at all. I suppose I was the cakeless, really. I was the more ordinary, down to earth, and the person that the audience would most easily associate with, the older members of the audience. I think that the Daleks made the show. They were the second one, the second serial that we did, and after that there was no doubt that it was going to be an enormous success. I don't think anyone could foresee the success being this long, but the Daleks did it, undoubtedly. The role didn't really change, I don't think. What changed were the episodes, if they were the serials. If they were good ones, you had more to do, and as a character you developed. In the futuristic ones, you stood still and screamed, basically. But these, of course, were the most popular things. The children absolutely adored the futuristic ones, rightly so. It was often very realistic, and I always remember a scene that, I suppose, yes, it must have been the first one, when I had to fall into, as it turned out, a dead pig. And I had to come up screaming, realising the blood was all over my hands, and it was a dead pig. And they actually cut the scene because they said it was too horrific for children. And things like that, which I don't believe they do now. They'd make it much more horrific, you know. I think they were perhaps wrong to assume that people couldn't take reality, but I think it's probably better now. But as I say, I would have preferred to work on it when I did. Oh, the story. Yeah. Well, I like personally the Aztec one. So I got to wear a lovely hat. I like this one, and I was very fond of the Roman one with Nero.
She preferred the.
From the point of view of the story, it would have been very difficult. As we were from Earth, for either of us, for us to have separated and gone off into space somewhere. So it was just assumed that we would leave together, and it so happened that we both felt we should go at the same time, so it worked out all right. I stayed at home bringing up the children, and I'm married to someone in the business, so I didn't feel cut off from it. And I went back to work about 5 years ago. And I still do a lot of television. I'm hoping to be doing the theatre season soon. At the moment I'm working on a television series for Uslu Films called Paradise Postponed by John Mortimer.
Like many.
Yes, I did have reservations about going back because I thought, as I was still getting letters from people remembering Barbara, I wondered how confusing they would find it to appear again as someone else. But the character I played was so was a bit way out, and they put on a very peculiar makeup and everything, so it seemed an all right thing to do. And the people that did see it, that remembered the earlier ones, said, "How you've changed. How nice to see you again."
Jackie also made her only appearance at a Doctor Who convention in 1985.
Jacqueline, this of course is your first convention.
Yes,
What's your impression?
I don't think I'm hard enough to speak, except that I'm thoroughly enjoying this. You all look absolutely marvellous, and I'm dying to talk to you personally. The idea of a convention is terrifying, I think. But then Doctor Who is unusual, so it seems right, and we're next door to where I live, so here I am.
It was...
I checked that Carol was going to be here, because she's very experienced with this sort of thing. And Ian, I knew he was coming, and he's an expert. Well, I really didn't know what was going to happen. My children forced me into it, I must confess.
Well done, well done.
She did not